Greetings to everyone. Let's continue dealing with the UPSC questions. For what value of n the sum of digits in the number this is 2? So basically they're asking that n should be what kind of a number. If we focus upon the options, they're asking what kind of a number should n be so that the sum of digits in this particular number should be equal to 2. That means suppose if we take the value of n as 1, right? So 10 raised to the power 1 be equal to 10 plus 1, and after adding these we'll get 11. So sum of these digits like 1 plus 1 will be equal to 2. So this is what this question really means, that what should be the value of n. So here the value of n was 1. Now the options here say for the value of n is equal to 0 only. So this option is obviously wrong because just right now we took the value of n as 1, and after solving this particular number for the value of n as 1, we received the sum as 2. So obviously for n is equal to 0 only, the sum won't be 2. If we take 10 raised to the power 0 plus 1, again we'll receive 1 plus 1. Like anything raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. So we have used this formula here. Then 1 plus 1 will be equal to 2. So again this particular statement is true, but here it is saying only. So this is not the case, right? The sum won't be 2 just for when n is equal to 0. Then the second option says for any whole number n. So in this case, if you take any such number, like whole numbers are basically the natural numbers plus 0. So 0 से हमने check कर लिया. And if we take any other natural number, for example, we take 10 raised to the power 27 plus 1 will be equal to. So see, 27 means 27 zeros after 1. And zeros don't constitute any such thing, right? They don't constitute any such value here. So there will be like 27 zeros plus we'll have 1. So again this number will be 1 and then 26 zeros and then there will be 1 at last. Like zeros, so many zeros. Then after we add these, again we'll get the sum as 2 here in this case as well. So this statement is true. Then the other statement say for any positive integer n only. Now positive integer does not include 0. Like as we know that on the number line, if we talk about integers, see here if we have 0. 0 is neither positive and nor negative. So they are saying for any positive integer n only. तो 0 तो ना नेगेटिव है ना पॉजिटिव है, which means that except for 0 यहाँ पर इन्फिनिटी में जितने भी numbers हो उनके लिए. But it is true for 0 as well, which means that this particular option is also wrong. Then they're asking for any real number n. So real number, if we can take like, we can take n to be 1 upon 2, like it will be 0.5. So it is a real number. So if we take 10 raised to the power 1 upon 2 plus 1, so this will be somewhere near to 3 point something, for example. And if we add 1, obviously we are already getting 4, and then other we do not know what are the values after decimal. So obviously this will not be the case, and this option is also wrong. So the only correct option here is for any whole number n. Now the next question says here, let x, y, z be a 3-digit number where x plus y plus z is not a multiple of 3. So what they're saying is that x plus y plus z is not a multiple of 3, which means that this particular number is not divisible by 3 as well. Then this particular number is not divisible by, तो पूछ रहे कि जो particular number है ये किससे divisible नहीं होगा. So see, the pattern that we can see here is कि ये जो नंबर है एक्स वाई जेड, इसमें जो ये 3 डिजिट्स हैं, लाइक वी हैव एक्स वाई एंड जेड, ऑब्वियसली इनके अलग अलग वैल्यूज है. ये नंबर कुछ भी हो सकता है, इट कैन बी 1 2 3, इट कैन बी 1 4 3 और एनी सच नंबर. So they are saying that the sum of these is not a multiple of 3. Then now see here, what we can see here is all these digits, they are like arranged in different manners. For example, if x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2 and z is equal to 3, what happens here is the another number that we are taking is z is in the center, so it will be 3, then 2, then 1, and the last one will be 3, 2 and 1. So these are the 3 numbers. So ये ऐसे बात कर रहे हैं. Now we all know that the way in which we can write this number 1 2 3 is 100 into 1 plus 10 into 2, because 2 is present at the tens place and 1 is present at the hundredths place. And just because 3 is present here at the units place, we'll write here 1 and then 3. So this is the way in which we can write this particular number, and so is the case for this particular thing. So if we need to write xyz plus yzx plus zxy. So to check the divisibility, what we can do is we can make factors out of this particular number. फैक्टर्स बनाने से we can identify कि वो ये जो नंबर है किस किस से divisible है. Because if any one factor of this particular number is divisible by any of these, which means वो options जो है उनसे ये particular number divisible है. So here we'll have like 100x plus 10y plus z, plus we'll have 100y plus 10z plus x, plus for the third number, so I can just draw here brackets. For the third number we can have 100z plus 10x plus y. So after adding this, we'll get like 111x plus 111y plus 111z. So we can take common. So this will be what? X plus y plus z. So एक चीज तो ये clear होगी कि since ये जो number है पूरा, this particular number we can write in this form. तो ये जो है number, this will be divisible by this particular thing because ये product है फिलहाल 111 का और x plus y plus z का. यानी कि अगर हम इन डिजिट्स का सम करेंगे that will be equal to 6, तो 6 into this ये उसी की फॉर्म में आ रहा है. तो अभी बोल रहे हैं कि हम कोई भी अगर नंबर लेंगे तो उनका जो डिजिट्स का सम होएगा. तो नाउ ऑब्वियसली इफ वी डिवाइड दिस बाय दिस पर्टिकुलर होल थिंग दैट इज x plus y plus z, तो ये कैंसिल आउट हो जाएगा विच मीन्स इट इज डिविजिबल बाय दिस. तो ये तो हमारा ऑप्शन हो नहीं सकता. देन द सेकेंड थिंग दिस इज अभी 1 से भी डिविजिबल है बट ये हमारे पास ऑप्शन में नहीं है. तो नाउ वी विल ट्राई टू मेक आउट फैक्टर्स ऑफ 111. So obviously since the sum is 3, ये 3 से divisible है. Then we'll have 9, then we'll have 20, that is 7. Which means this is also divisible by 37 and 3. इसी को अगर हम इस फॉर्म में लिख दें 37 into 3 into x plus y plus z. Again this particular whole number will be divisible. डिविजिबल का ये बस ये मतलब होता है कि अगर जो हम डिनोमिनेटर है यानी कि जिससे भी हम डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, सपोज हम इसे 3 से डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, तो यानी कि हम इस नंबर की डिविजिबिलिटी 3 से चेक कर रहे हैं. तो अगर 3 कैंसिल आउट हो जाता है विच मीन्स इफ द डिनोमिनेटर completely is getting cancelled, it means that this particular number is divisible by that particular number जो कि कैंसिल हुआ है. So obviously in this case 3 और 37 से भी कैंसिल आउट हो जाएगा. So 3 and 37 are also able to divide this particular number. So ये भी ऑप्शन नहीं हो सकता है. So the only answer that will be left here with is 9. यानी कि ये जो नंबर है सिर्फ 9 से नॉट डिविजिबल है. So a biology class at high school predicted that a local population of animals will double in size every 2 years. यानी कि suppose आज year है 2023. So after 12 years, that is in the year 2035, what will happen is this population will double in size. यानी आज की population 10 है तो in this particular it will be 20. Then they say the population at the beginning of the year 2021 was estimated to be 50 animals. That is in the year 2021, 50 animals है अभी currently हमारे पास. If P represents the population, यानी कि जो P है ये population है, after n years, n is here is the number of years, n doesn't mean 12 years, n means number of years. Then which one of the following equations represent the model of the class for the population? तो इनमें से कौन सी ऐसी इक्वेशन है जो कि रिप्रेजेंट करती है कि जब भी हमें पॉपुलेशन निकालनी, यानी कि बस हम n की वैल्यू डाल दें इनमें से जो भी इक्वेशन करेक्ट होगी उसमें से, एंड देन वी कैन फाइंड आउट कि व्हाट इज द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ इन दैट पर्टिकुलर ईयर. अगर हम ईयर्स के नंबर डालें आफ्टर 2021. So the easiest approach in this question can be we put the values of n in all these options and then we check कि क्या actually realistic है. Because if we normally calculate, then what happens is, suppose this is 2021 maybe 50 है. So after 12 years, that is in 2033, it will be 100 animals. That is what they mean. तो हमें आंसर अभी पता है, लेकिन अगर हमें निकालना ना तो गैप हियर इज ऑफ 12 years. हमने सबसे बेसिक गैप लिया था कि हमें कैलकुलेट ना करना पड़े. दिस गैप कुड ऑल्सो हैव बीन 13 years. इट कुड ऑल्सो हैव बीन 7 years. तब हम कैसे कैलकुलेट करके उसके लिए वी हैव दिस इक्वेशन, लाइक जो भी करेक्ट इक्वेशन होगी इनमें से. तो अभी हम रियलिस्टिक को सबसे सिंपल लेते हैं, दैट इज 12 years, जो हमें कैलकुलेट करने में ईजी हो. एंड वी ऑल्सो नो द आंसर टू दिस. Okay, after 12 years, the population, that is the value of p, will be equal to 100. So if we look for the first equation, obviously the correct answer नहीं होगा, because see 12 plus now 50 into 12 will be equal to 600. So obviously ये first option गलत हो गया. Then second option here says 12 into 12, so it will be 144 plus 50. Again this is also wrong. Then the third option says 50 into 2 raised to the power 12 multiplied by n. So n here is 12. So 12 to will be 144. यानी कि 2 की पावर 144 into में 50. ये तो बहुत ही बड़ा नंबर जाएगा. So this is not at all possible. और हमें तो 100 चाहिए, तो हम 100 वैल्यू चेक करें कि कैसे आएगी. तो population in the fourth option is 50 multiplied by 2 n divided by 12. So here we'll have 50 multiplied by 2, and here we have taken as 12, right? 12 on 12, so it will be equal to 1. So we'll have 50 into 2 raised to the power 1, which means 50 into 2, which means the answer will be equal to 100. यानी कि जो हमारा fourth option, that is the correct option. So it will be quick to make out once we know the basic concept and कि वो कहना क्या चाह रहे हैं, and this. So directly investing our mind into the options of this question will be pretty time consuming. And also if you think of making the equation ourselves or perhaps trying to do this and that, this will lead to more time consumption, and also it will be very tough because this question is a bit tricky. So the better alternative can be to directly take up such numbers, like to put in these kind of equations and then to check, like in the reverse order, whether this equation is correct or not by taking up realistic numbers, etc. So that's it for today. Thank you.